Hello and welcome back everybody to the Join Dota League season number 3. It's going to be game number 2 of this 2-game series between Insidious and Immunity Dota. Game number 1 was one of the fastest games I have ever seen in my life. 6-minute GG coming out. So hoping to actually get some form of action, some tension in this game number 2. But we're HeflaTV, I'm Coucher, and once again I am joined by Mike Loris.
Yeah, I think the draft probably took longer than the actual game. I don't know the exact numbers on that, but it seems like that's a serious possibility. Immunity, they just took a huge risk, and it was an unnecessary risk. I think their comp was pretty
They
cool.
didn't even take one risk, they took like 3 risks.
I mean, they took one serious risk, which like snowballed into other risks because they are people who fully commit. But I thought their draft was sweet. Like they had the Sven, they had the Beastmaster at the end. It was very old school, but they just all went into the Roshan pit and got eaten alive. Not a great way to go.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment they do start with a Razor, so going a little bit more on the standard side at the moment. In CS Idle though, what are the heroes available? Doombringer, Brewmaster possibly as well, have been left still in the pool. Viper, I guess, is one as well.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though this is technically game number 2, there's zero information to work off of from game number 1 because it was just such an anomaly of a game that you can't really see what Immunity like to play. Like they just took a risk and it didn't pay off. So this is pretty much just game number 1, and in that situation, you just go for the strongest possible hero. They opened up with the Brewmaster, I think. Doom and Brewmaster were their first 2 picks in the last game, so going for that exact same thing probably isn't going to be a bad thing, especially since Immunity with the Razor not exactly a great hero versus Brew or Doom.
Yeah, I mean, I think, or at least it would make sense if they went for those heroes. I mean, what are the other options? Actually, Shadow Demon, the first pick. Are they going for like Shadow Demon Mirana straight off the bat? It would be a little bit weird or unorthodox, but I guess if they have plans for it, I mean, Shadow Demon first, it's been a really long time since I've seen it.
Yeah, it's usually a hero that gets through to the second phase, and as far as supports who are banned out, unless you pick up a Mirana in your first pick phase, you're most likely going to be able to get a Shadow Demon pretty much no matter what. Like, it's the Skywraths, the Shadow Shamans, the Earthshakers of the world that get banned out. Shadow Demon is usually let through, so the Insidious side should have some pretty serious plans with the Shadow Demon, but just as a hero, it's not a hero that you could seriously build around in that capacity. Like, yes, the lockdown is nice, the setup is really great, and I guess that's as much setup as you're going to get. Shadow Demon Mirana. They could have gotten it later, but deciding to pick it up very early.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird and how Immunity, they're like, oh sweet, we can pick the Doombringer ourselves if you want to, Brewmaster possibly. Of course you can gank the Brewmaster with the Shadow Demon Mirana combination if it's going to be a roaming one. But even then, I mean, just Primal Split is going to be such a huge deal. I guess for Immunity, if they want to send a Razor mid lane, then Brewmaster safe lane or off lane might not be something that they're looking for anyway. So Skywrath Mage also still available. Shadow Demon is pretty nice against the Skywrath in a sense that you can just disrupt the target that gets Mystic Flared. But Immunity, they go for the Tidehunter now. 2 extremely solid cores in CS Idle. Their lineup or the start of the draft is a little bit more vague, so don't really know what to expect from them.
Well, what we do know from Immunity is that this strategy is most likely not going to be pulling too many shenanigans. So I think it's safe to say that this is going to be a very nice standard game of Dota. Maybe some weird picks down the line, but right now, Immunity, they're not going to be running anything crazy. Like Razor Tidehunter are just 2 very solid heroes in lane, heroes that rarely lose their lanes, and even though they are, even though they are that powerful in lane, Insidious with the Mirana Shadow Demon are definitely capable of bringing them down, especially if these 2 are just the roaming supports from Insidious, which I think at this point I would like to see, just so that they don't have to worry about any more supports. They just have to work with their cores. And then if you're ganking any sort of core hero that could help at all in lane, then Mirana Shadow Demon is going to be golden. So something like a Viper would be a very nice 3rd pick for Insidious.
You mean Viper is almost always a pretty damn strong hero. Especially if, for example, they go for that defensive tri-lane, Mirana Shadow Demon plus the Viper if it would be, then them roaming around wouldn't hurt the Viper at all. Sometimes the offlaners can start pulling the safe laners in that case, but Viper could easily handle a Tidehunter as well.
Yeah, it is very possible that that does come to be, as Nature's Prophet is going to be the ban out, so he is still in the pool, and hey, there we go. We're Psychic, look at that. Viper is going to be the pickup for Insidious. Whether it's tri-lane or solo mid, I think either way, the matchup is going to be pretty okay for Viper. Solo mid's going to be a lot more rough, but versus Razor, there aren't really many heroes that completely shut Razor down. So I think Insidious, they're looking pretty good in this draft immunity. Still need to pick up their support heroes. With Skywrath Mage in the pool, as you said, not the best hero versus Shadow Demon, but still very capable. They're just going to go for the Doom. These heroes for immunity are really tanky.
Yeah, they are indeed. I mean, extremely so. Even Doom and Tidant are just innately so. Razor just builds himself tanky, the mech possibly with Aghanim Scepter. And I really like that there's a mech carrier being the Razor or even the Doombringer if need be in the team when you have a Tidehunter. Makes it so the Tidehunter can just solely focus on getting the Blink Dagger first.
Yeah, the Razor, I think in this situation, should be going for quicker Aghanims, although Blink and Doom is kind of useful. You really want to have a Blink on Doom if the Insidious side pick up someone who you actually need to Doom. Viper, not exactly one of those heroes, and you don't really want to waste a Doom on Mirana or Shadow Demon, but there we go. There's a hero you want to Doom, so all of a sudden Blink first for Doom gets a lot better as Insidious pick up the Queen of Pain. Another hero that could work very well off of Shadow Demon Mirana and is pretty capable in lane. She could blink away from the Razor static link at the very least.
Yeah, it's definitely not too bad. And of course, Soul Catcher into Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave from Queen of Pain. It's going to be some crazy amount of burst damage if the Shadow Demon actually skills up Soul Catcher. A lot of Shadow Demons just go for Shadow Poison instead, which is actually a pretty good spell. But Skywrath Mage is finally the pickup for immunity. Their only just proper lockdown for it is going to be the Ravage. So I'm hoping for something that can actually combo up with Skywrath. I guess they do need a stunner anyway as the fifth one now. I'm not a stunner, but a secondary support, so possibly something like a Wraith King.
Yeah, I think immunity probably going to angle towards either Wraith King or a Witch Doctor. Both of those heroes would be pretty nice for them to pick up because both of them, at the very least, have a short disable, and they are kind of light on that with only the Ravage as their stun right now. So they need something that stuns people, especially going up against Queen of Pain. Though they do have two silences in the Doom and Skywrath Mage, just getting more lockdown is never going to be a bad thing, especially when it's on your supports. That's even better. So even though Mirana Shadow Demon is a tough lane to have roam against you, Skywrath Mage and Witch Doctor or Wraith King is even more devastating, I would say. And well, Wraith King is going to get the boot from immunity, so it looks like they clearly don't have any plans for that hero. They're just, I guess, preparing for a very aggressive Mirana Shadow Demon one other hero lane. And that is a fairly devastating lane, although DK is the pick. This Mirana Shadow Demon, I think, are going to be, for the most part, roaming, because Insidious don't really need their supports to be babysitting at all.
Can this be a Queen of Pain aggressive tri-lane even potentially at the moment?
It's possible, but I think it's more likely that if they do run an aggressive tri-lane, then Viper is going to go there, just because he works better with gold and works better with less farm, with less experience.
I mean, it's just a thing that, I mean, Viper should, in theory at least, be able to hold his own way better up against Tidehunter and Doombringer than Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain still up against any melee hero should rather fine, especially if it's in his own safe lane. I guess there's a small chance that Dragon Knight isn't going to be mid lane, although I wouldn't really bank on it. I mean, how do you think Insidious are going to lane this?
Well, I think most likely it's going to be a Viper aggressive tri-lane or a Dragon Knight defensive tri-lane. Because Dragon Knight does benefit quite a bit from getting that farm. If you get him to his items, get a quick BKB or something like that, then you're golden. Also, DK has the most kill potential and the most synergy with Mirana Shadow Demon. Like, once you set up for an arrow, you'll have a Dragon Tail to back up. So, I think it's possible either way for Insidious. I would honestly be surprised to see it at Queen of Pain tri-lane. Maybe it's because I just haven't seen one of those in such a very long time that just seems like a wonky idea to me, but it is a possibility for them. And really, I think what we're exploring is the fact that Insidious, they have so much lane flexibility, and that the fact that their supports are going to be, wherever they go, are going to be a very large factor, because they will be able to gank lanes that have a lot of power, and even if they don't actually just sit in a lane, if they just keep on roaming, they should be able to get kills.
Yeah, they should indeed. I mean, it's always nice if your supports have that capability to just roam around freely, and that's also one reason that I would like to see Queen of Pain being in that aggressive tri-lane. So even if Mirana Shadow Demon leave her alone, with a blink she still should be fine. Especially considering, I mean, yes, there's a silence on Skywrath Mage, but so far no additional lockdown to actually make it so the Queen of Pain just can't run away manually. A Naga Siren is the pick for immunity now. And is this a core one and pushing the Tidehunter into support with Doom offlane, or... Well, I guess we will see soon enough.
Man, I have no idea. This Naga Siren, I would say she's at her strongest when she's going up against someone like a Faceless Void, so you could shut down that Chronosphere. Now it's not exactly the case, so this could be a little bit of a weird situation coming out from Immunity, where their Naga Siren is going to be it's always an okay support, but I would say in general there are stronger supports to pick up, like the two I already mentioned. So I don't know how I feel about this Naga Siren as a support in general and as a support in this particular scenario.
Yeah, I mean, we will see if it's gonna be that support or not, or core role. I guess Tidehunter support used to be rather common as well, so it's not like it's a bad thing. You can still actually farm up stacks yourself when you once you get a couple of levels going, so you can still be active in the jungle even as a support Tidehunter to some extent. So we're in game 2 now. Once again, one hero or one player is disconnected. Actually reconnected already, never mind. Mirana disconnected, not... Oh man, they screwed with me. I thought somebody reconnected.
They're out to get you, man. They're all out to get you, and
It's a conspiracy.
it is. I'm part of it.
Yeah, that's what I thought, man. That's what I thought. But in any case, guys, to introduce the lineups once again for the last time for the day, it's going to be Balls on Tidehunter, leaving Cynical to play the Skyrift Mage with Shatan on the Naga Siren, Slicks to be the Razor, and the last one being Stand Kfini on the Doombringer.
Alright, and on the Insidious side, we got Chu playing the Viper. Shagasaurus is going to be on the Queen of Pain. ABC as well as Z-Red are going to be supporting as the Mirana and Shadow Demon, and Ysera is going to be playing the Dragon, much like his name would indicate. I actually have no idea off of the last game who played the support. I'm pretty sure it was Shatan and Cynical, because that would make the most sense to me, but the game didn't really last long enough, and none of the heroes made enough of an impression for me to actually remember. So I'm not too sure, but I'm inclined to think it'll just be Razor, Doom, and Tidehunter all in their respective lanes, and it's probably going to be a defensive tri-lane with the Doom, I want to say. Immunity, they're probably going to play this one slow, and at the very least, slower than last game.
I mean, I'm definitely hoping that it's not going to be a 6-minute GG, and it will have to take a miracle, to be honest, for it to be as fast this game, I believe. Even if, like, it would be a tri-lane versus tri-lane where one side completely dominates, even then, I don't think such an early GG would be warranted, but Razor has reconnected, so has the Mirana. Everybody started drawing on the map because, well, that's what poses do to you.
Alright, so it looks like we're going to get this one on the road, and we're going to see how these lanes actually shape up, especially for Immunity, where these supports are going to go. They do pick up one smoke right off the bat either side, so they're all just going to head down towards the bottom lane. Everyone's going to head down towards the bottom lane, in fact, but yeah, now with two smokes being picked up from Insidious and the boots from the Shadow Demon, I expect this Mirana Shadow Demon to be, for the most part, nomadic. They're not going to be sticking in any one lane for too long, unless there's a lot of opportunities in that lane, in which case they're going to be all on that, but they're just going to be very aggressively putting pressure on the enemy lanes, and it's going to be a little bit difficult because all these cores have a ton of regeneration. Like, holy crap, that's 6 tangos on the Razor, 8 on the Tidehunter, 6 on the Doom, and, well, they're going to run into each other. Z-Red looking for disruption, perhaps, but there are one too many heroes here. If Viper was here, then I'm sure Insidious would be more inclined to fight this, but with no Viper, this is not a fight that they want to take.
I mean, I was actually pretty positive that Cynical is just going to start out straight out with the concussion shot, get the slow on the Shadow Demon, but they themselves didn't feel too safe fighting that because they were in, I guess, a small enough of a choke point, so if they had actually followed up, somebody could have gotten easily arrowed in return, just 5-second arrow, maybe into an easy first blood. Of course, they didn't know exactly as well that Insidious idle, they weren't there as full 5. So, no action to come, no spells even used for it. As the lanes, how the hell will they plan out in the end? I guess, no, Slicks, he's the mid lane player, the Razor, so they're going for an aggressive tri-lane with Tidehunter as support? Or never mind, not Tidehunter. Doombringer, aggressive dual lane? What? I don't know, man.
Well, it looks like Tidehunter is going to be all alone down here, and it's going to be, quote-unquote, an aggressive tri-lane with the Doom, although I think they have a good read about what's going on, and they know that the Doom is just going to be getting protection up here. Of course, this means Naga Siren and Skyrath aren't going to be getting pull experience just because there's no great camps to pull in this upper area, so Naga Siren is a hero that does need that quite a bit, and well, for now, it's going to be Balls who's in the most trouble. His Haste Rune is up, and he's going strong into the Queen of Pain, but now he's getting put into a more and more awkward situation because now he's in the bubble. Now he's in the bubble, and ABC lining up the arrow. There it is, perfectly flown, and his Ball's trapped. he might just be trapped. Anchor Smash is there, and he's not trapped because he's shuffled down bottom. Is he trapped? There's a tree there.
It looked like he can actually start moving at the moment, although Shadow Demon... I would think he's trapped. At least just from watching at it. And even if you go into Showcase, man, if he can get past it, he pretty much runs over the Shadow Demon. Of course, Tidehunter, I guess he's big enough to, in theory, do that, but that's not how this game should work.
Well, okay, let's assume that he is trapped. I'm pretty sure if he is, then he's just dead. If he's not, everyone from Insidious, they're doing 20 damage because of Anchor Smash, and that Stout Shield is going to block all of that. So if he's not trapped, he does have a chance at surviving, but if he can't move because of the two illusions, the Shadow Demon and the tree, then he's just screwed because the disable duration is just going to be too large. So I don't know. I guess place your bets right now as to whether or not this Tidehunter is going to live, because right now it seems a little bit close. Take a quick look at the other lanes. The supports for immunity, they're currently heading down back towards the bottom lane. So I guess they see the Viper versus Doom matchup and figure they can't really do much for him. Doom's going to be getting his gold as per usual with Devour, but Chu should have this lane pretty much on lockdown, as Vipers usually do.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely should. Just the poison attack is so damn disruptive up against Doombringer. Even Corrosive Skin. Sometimes Doombringers actually turn out to be lane bullies themselves. Maybe even get an Orb of Venom, just start the early right clicks, but up against Corrosive Skin, it just doesn't work out all that well because you're just going to be so extremely slow. And I'm betting on Balls dying here.
Yeah, I think he's dead. Alright, let's see. We got like 3-to-1 odds on him dying. Balls is... Oh, he's going to eat the tree and he's going to book it. He is still pretty slow, and they don't have any more disables, although there's another Shadow Strike. Balls is still living. Level 1 Anchor Smash doing work. He's going to survive. We both owe someone money. I'm not sure who, but we have to pay out eventually.
Each other, man. Each other.
Yes, I agree. Probably that.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate, and of course nice tango by Tidehunter there as well. He had, of course, all the time in the world to actually think about his next moves, like what tree to tango or whatnot, but he made it out there. Anchor Smash definitely making the difference. Like I already mentioned, it's just Stout Shield pretty much blocked every single point of damage after the Anchor Smash, but they're gonna find Shatan possibly or somebody else. No, C-Red. He started with Boots as well. Actually, the one thing that they could have done a little bit better, I think ABC could have gotten an angle where the arrow could have been a longer one as well. If it had lasted even like half a second longer, delay the Anchor Smash a little bit, one right click's worth from each hero, it might have been enough, but then what's done is done.
And back on the bottom lane, they're going to go for Shagasaurus. There's a net, and you can't blink out of that, but I don't think there's enough damage to follow up. Only level 1 on the Naga Siren means no Riptide. In the meantime, Z-Red and ABC have left the Queen of Pain alone to her own devices for now, potentially looking for Slicks, or maybe they'll make the long rotation back up all the way to the Doom. And it looks like that is where they're going to be going. This should be known to Immunity. If they don't see the supports right now with the wards that they've placed, then clearly the supports are going to be ganking somewhere. And unfortunately for Feeney, it's going to be him, although he's running the right direction. And if he keeps running in this direction, he'll be fine. But eventually he'll have to run south. And ABC is going to chuck the arrow freehand. Oh man, it's going to be a long one. Oh, it's going to miss. But there's the bubble. No Viper is here though, so they can't get this Doom. Unfortunately, this roam comp for Insidious so far not really working out, although Feeney's going to run straight into Ysera, who doesn't have Dragon Tail. What the what? Well, he has illusions to block. Some right-click damage, breathe fire, arrow from point blank. That's going to be a kill. It looked like your Doom stood a chance of surviving, but Dragon Knight coming in at the nick of time is going to give Insidious first blood.
Yeah, I think actually he would have survived if not for that arrow flying from here. Otherwise, he would have probably just ran away from the river like this. And I can't stop throwing. Okay, now I can, but because of the arrow, because he had to dodge it, he had to run all the way, the long way around, so a little bit unfortunate. First blood given away, finally Suicidals do grab it for themselves. Supports wasting some time, but it's not like the supports would have had too much better to do anyway. And now Ysera, being level 4, has 1 point to Dragon Tail as well. Next time, it's going to be even easier to get the kill.
And Ysera's doing just fine versus this Razor. In fact, he's doing a lot better than I really would have expected. Razor, usually with Static Link, is able to pressure Dragon Knight out of lane quite heavily and force Dragon Knight to rely 100% on that Breathe Fire to last hit. So far, that's not quite the case, as Dragon Knight is still doing very comfortably, especially with that additional level and the first blood gold. And now ABC Z-Red, they're going to look for round 2. However, this time they're going to be spotted by an Observer Ward of the Radiant. So they're going to try to wrap around for Doom, but unfortunately for them, Doom is no longer in the area. These two supports are going to be doing nothing for a little bit of time, although maybe just securing the double damage rune is good enough. They need to be roaming around very aggressively, or at the very least, get pulls or something. Like, standing around and not doing anything is not good, because Cynical, as well as Shaitan, they're just doing the pulling stuff. Standard support action down on the Radiant bottom lane, and well, they're getting their levels up slowly but surely, whereas Mirana and Shadow, even though they did get the first blood for the team, they're kind of stalled out right now just because they can't find any openings.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate for Insidious at the moment. They just can't really find those openings. And of course, Immunity, they're playing it safe enough as well. I mean, Slick's even going into the jungle a little bit to farm up there, because they of course had vision of ABC and C-Red. And Shadow Demon, do they really want to come in from behind? It's a little bit of a risky move if they do so. And I guess they are still hoping that Doombringer or somebody will just come to try stop the push on top lane. There's a siege creep plus a double creep wave almost coming.
They're going to go for Ysera. There's the net to opening things up, and just very easy kill on the Dragonite. Cynical and Shaitan making their first rotation and making it work as well. And, well, they're waiting up top still, ABC and Z-Red, for absolutely nobody. So it's a nice little win for Immunity as they catch Dragonite off guard.
Yeah, of course, they're trading a lot of damage on the tower at the moment as well. It's going to drop down to half HP, maybe even a little bit more cliff already on cooldown. But the disruption came out, Arrow actually will miss completely. Doom just runs out of it, and now can they get the turnaround? Oh, Viper stuck onto Kfini, they will get set red, maybe one more right click. Yes, they clean him up, but Viper going for Cynical next. They actually will have to back off Shaitan. Level 2 and Snare, maxing that out first. But a kill for kill, support for core, and Insidious coming out ahead.
I don't know about maxing and snare. It doesn't really scale very well. It's just one additional second of pseudo stun every single level, and as important as it is for them to have disables, I think just getting Riptide and being able to kill things faster is going to be in general a lot more useful, especially when you're dealing with physical damage from the Razor being so high and Anchor Smash. So I don't know about this build from Naga Siren, but we'll see if it actually works out in the end. The scaling from Riptide is very mediocre. It's only 1 armor and 30 damage per level, but still, I'd rather see that than the Ensnare, which is also scaling very mediocre. Ysera in the green dragon form is going to go to town on that tower. Once again, harkening back to the WoW lore, so everything's pretty appropriate and where it should be. But he did put some serious hurt on that tower. This is just the first usage of dragon form with a double damage rune, and the tower already dropped down to about a third of its HP.
Yeah, man. I wanted to ask you as well, that is he going to leave it on the green dragon form just for it to be
better
correct for the lore?
Be better. It's just a flavor win.
But, man, to be honest, I think this Immortal Dragon looks really weird as well. I mean, if you look at it in Dota itself, it's fine, but just the profile picture, or however you want to call it, it looks like a moth.
It looks too mechanical.
Yeah, it's
like it's just a machine dragon, which is fine. I'm all aboard machine dragons, but not when it's a human guy that's turning into a machine. I guess Cyborg Dragonite should be the next skin. New Arcana for Dragonite.
Oh yeah. But look at this ABCN, Z-Red. They are once again on the top lane. Now this time they're smoked up. Actually, they will find Kfini, but can they get a long enough arrow? They will land the arrow this time around. Soulcatcher is there as well, but I think Doom is going to be fast enough. Now the leap comes through. But yeah, he's still going to be fast enough. Plenty of health regeneration, but tower also falls in the meantime.
Alright, so despite the fact that ABC and Z-Red are getting arrow setups, well, Shagasaurus in a little bit of trouble. He's netted down and silenced. Doesn't have any bottle charges or anything. He's going to be brought down just by 2 supports. Wow, I guess that definitely happened. Queen of Pain is going to take a fall down on the bottom lane, probably just playing a little bit too aggressive. But yeah, going back, Z-Red and ABC, though they are getting the Disruption arrow setups, they're not actually getting them in range of any other hero, so they can't actually do anything. Although right here, that's exactly the arrow that they wanted. It's like he's going to be brought down very slowly, however. There's Dragon Tail, which will interrupt the static lane cast, but falls teleporting in with a Ravage. Suddenly, Insidious don't really want to fight this, and if they do, they're going to get hit with a Ravage, all but guaranteed. They're going to go for this tower, and it should be pretty easy. Although Slicks has a denial attempt, it's not going to happen. Shagasaurus is going to take that tower home, and well, Insidious, they haven't been landing arrows combinations close to someone who could actually help. And with Shadow Demon and Mirana, just the 2 of them, though they can get kills on the enemy supports, getting kills on the likes of the Doombringer needs another hero, and they're just not getting that.
Yeah, I mean, you said it in the draft as well that, or the way Immunity started it, just Doombringer as well as Tidehunter and Razor, just extremely tanky heroes, so hard to actually bring them down. But there is a 4-man smoke coming out from Immunity. Slicks trying to act as baiter. I mean, usually when you smoke, you want to have at least one lane farming at the same time, otherwise it's just way too obvious when nobody's farming up the lanes, at least this early on in the game. Can they find anything though? Ysera, oh, he breaks the invis. I don't think there's any detection on immunity. Yeah, well, that was an easy fail gank.
And Z-Red is still positioning himself pretty aggressively. The arrow's going to connect them to the Doombringer, but there's a Ravage here. They're going to get a stun off onto the Scarab Mage. They're going to bring him down first. No Ravage quite yet. They doom up the Viper. It's a very important hero to doom up, and now the Ravage going to connect onto 2. The Viper's dropping pretty low. He will go down because he doesn't have the mech. Shagasaurus now is going to try to bottle up and run away. The rest of Insidious have got to bail. Arrow's going to fly Shagasaurus with a short blink out, but I don't think he's actually fast enough to escape this one. Courier's going to spot him out, and Ball's waiting for another gush. In 3 seconds he'll have it. I don't even know if it's necessary. I think it is necessary. Gush him down. There we go. Queen of Pain is dead. And now they're going to get a net onto Z-Red. Has a disruption for the Doombringer, but now there's a whole bunch of immunity heroes right on top of him, and I don't think he's going to survive this one. Zek with one more Plasma Field, or Slicks, rather, with one more Plasma Field is going to kill off the Shadow Demon, and they're still chasing for ABC. Balls with Anchor Smash is going to get the triple kill for the Tide. Here comes Ysera, but he doesn't actually have any mana. He's going to get the kill on Balls regardless, I think, because he's taking too many tower shots. In the meantime, Chu is also trying to go 1v4. Not a good idea, bro. He's going to get static linked up, and he's silenced. He can't do anything. Ysera and Z-Red, they're going to come in to support, and I think it might be enough as they're going to go for Cynical one more time. They're going to bring down the Scarab Mage, who just freshly respawned. Unfortunate for him. Insidious turned it around decently enough, and it might be a little bit more. Shagasaurus still looking for blood, though he only has level 1 Blink, so chasing as this Queen of Pain is going to be a little bit difficult, and it looks like they will be forced to back off. They still have more Dragon form, Insidious, and I think even though it looked extremely messy, they should be okay with where they are, since they probably can take a tier 1 tower off of this.
Yeah, I mean, getting towers is always going to be nice, and they are already 2 towers ahead as well, so some nice global gold that way. Looking at the early graphs as well, it's about a 2,000 gold lead, which I guess it's pretty much exactly the 2 towers that have fallen so far. XP though, almost 2,000, 1.7k in favor of immunity. But of course, man, this Naga Siren isn't a core one, so it's not all that scary as Dragon Knight picks up an early Blink Dagger.
That is a very aggressive Blink Dagger coming out from this Dragon Knight. Dragon Tail setups are... Blink Dragon Tail, rather, is one of the best ways to initiate because it is a spell that comes out so quickly and the stun lasts for so long, even at level 1. 2.5 seconds is no joke. So he's going to bottle up a double damager. Now they're going to look to fight. With Balls having no Ravage, this should be a much easier fight from Insidious if they do get here in time. They have a fortification, so this tower is going to survive in time for Insidious to come around and get into their positions. Arrow is going to fly, will connect onto Vini one more time, but they can't go for that Doom because Balls is right in the front lines. There is the disruption onto that Tide Hunter. The burst damage on the Tide, getting pretty high, but he has a Ravage now. He could use it onto 3. He's still holding on to it. No, wait, no, I'm clicking on an illusion. Never mind, he doesn't have it. Well, he's going to have it soon, but he's not going to use it, and he will go down. Arrow's going to fly, and it will connect onto Slicks. Tried to juke it, but he kind of got in his own head there. Slicks is going to go down the blink forward for a Dragon Tail onto Shaitan. He's now going to be mauled by dragons. Trying to turn around for ABC. That's going to be a double kill for Ysera. Man, I didn't know that Tide Hunter illusions also have no Ravage cooldown. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, illusions don't share cooldowns, I guess. Maybe Naga Sirens do. I'm not too sure with the mirror image, but in any case, excellent fight for Insidious Idol. Just this Blink Dagger from the Dragon Knight completely catching immunity by surprise, of course. The arrow landing first up on the Doombringer. Then the follow-up arrow landing onto Razor. Slicks actually, he saw it coming, tried to dodge it, panicked a little bit, did a little Z move. It's like, pretty much, he did a straight line afterwards anyway, and it just wasn't enough. Now blink out by Ysera as well. Chu actually might be in some trouble. They still have, oh, arrow lands onto Shatan. Is there a turnaround potential here?
Well, there's no mech for Chu, and it looks like he will go down. There's no disruption either. Ysera's still in the area with potentially a Dragon Tail, but now he's out of Dragon form, and Chu's going to go down, although deny potential is there. It's going to be enough. Mirana gets the kill on the Viper, and Z-Red now is in a very awkward position, stuck between a whole boatload of heroes. He's going to try TP out. That's kind of hopeful for him. He's going to go down in the end. Insidious, they lose too. They don't get the tower either. And immunity, they still have... Oh, they don't have a Ravage, actually, so they are going to keep going for this anyway. It's the tower that's pretty much already dead, so you might as well just finish that one up. Cynical's off to the side, and ABC as well as Shagasaurus looking for a way in, but against the Skyrath Mage currently at level 6, it's probably suicidal. Slicks gonna teleport out as they do throw an arrow for Balls, I think. They don't get him. So 9-9 is the total score, and Immunity finally get their tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I mean, it took them some time, but I guess better late than never. And, well, I say late, but it's only 13 minutes in. It somehow, I don't know why, feels like it's been longer.
Yeah, I don't know. This game has been progressing pretty quickly because of all the pushing and aggression, but it's just happening a lot earlier than we really thought. I mean, there's a level 10 Dragonite on the field right now. 14 minutes in is quite a high level for any hero, really. So DK is going to be quite a potent force moving forward, especially if he keeps on using this Blink Dagger very aggressively. With a Haste Rune now in his bottle and the creep waves pushing down mid, they're going to look for a fight. Arrow's going to fly, and Shaitan stops moving. He's going to take a lot of damage here. He has a Song of the Siren. They have a Viper Strike on him, though, and he's dead, even if he does pop that off. Boom goes the Dynamite. There goes the Naga Siren, and Ysera still around, not yet in that Dragon form, but they're going to go for this tower push, and it's already at below half. It should be a very easy tower, and if not, a Doom kill as well. Arrow's going to fly, and he doesn't have anywhere to dodge. He does have somewhere to dodge. He is going to make sure he doesn't get hit with the arrow, but now he gets connected with the Curse. There's no Viper Strike here. Shagasaurus' Sonic Wave actually, the Scream actually misses, I think. Now Feeney's still dropping pretty low, but he's not dead just yet. Ysera's in the meantime going to solo kill the Skywrath Mage. Balls can't do anything right now because he doesn't have a Ravage. Mass teleportation's back into the mid lane. Tower's still alive, although not really for long, I don't think. There's another dragon hit, and the tower will go down, and Ysera wants in. He's going to get another stun onto Slicks, however, he gets netted into the floor in response. Mech is going to keep Ysera up. He's so tanky right now. Shagasaurus trying to do as much damage as he can, trying to go for balls, but that's not the right hero. He's so tanky, this Tidehunter, although with enough heroes focusing, they might have enough. Not with Song of the Siren. That's going to put a stop to this, although they do have more if they want to keep fighting. They're going to decide to back off immunity and, well, just sack that tier 1 tower and take a kind of messy fight after that. I think Insidious could probably look to get the rest of the tier 2s off of this.
Yeah, I mean, this fight was just so damn good for Insidious, to be honest. I'm not too sure when Ysera blinked in to stun up the Razor there by the end of it, if his Haste Rune had already expired or not, but I've actually seen once a hero getting killed because he went for the Razor the same way. Had a Haste Rune, thought he can dive the tower, but once he used a single target spell on Razor, he got purged of the Haste Rune, and suddenly bam, under the tower, nowhere to go. And actually Shagasaurus might be in some trouble mid lane if he can get any stuns. Nope, just a gush. Shagasaurus is gonna be fine, blinks out as well. Does he have his Orchid finished? I think he needs one more point for it. Disruption? What? Set red? Where the hell are they going? Shaitan gets arrowed up, but man, those supports are just being so aggressive.
Yeah, those two supports, Z-Red and ABC, were very, very close to death there, although I don't really think they knew it. They disengaged pretty well, though, putting someone in a bubble, then throwing the arrow just to cover their retreat. They're now looking to smoke up, I believe. You don't really group up like this if you're... I guess Arcane Boots is fine, but... Okay, they're just going to go as 3, which is kind of a little bit bold. They could really get punished by this because they don't have the Queen of Pain or the DK. Shagasaurus is going to get God Upon down in the middle lane. He's going to most likely die to this Doom, although Viper's here with the mech, so the Doom is going to probably not get this kill unless... Yeah, okay, this should be a easy deny. No, he's going to survive. Okay, well, Chu coming in with the mech is going to save the Queen of Pain, and now Doom's down for immunity. This is a small opening for Insidious, but I think they fear the Ravage just a little bit more than they fear the Doom.
Yeah, I mean, Ravage is definitely a higher priority. And, oh, are they going to break the smoke with the supports at the moment? Did they see the smoke? They started backing off at the right time. Oh, I don't think they did, actually. They're going to go back in.
Well, they're in the same exact position, and I don't know if they're going to get caught this time. They're going to be able to back off once again. They pop off another smoke. That's like the second smoke in a row that Immunity have tried to use that has resulted into absolutely nothing just because the right people have been there at the right time. First time it was an invisible Dragonite. Second time it was a Marauder and Shadow Demon who just were none the wiser. So they're going to group up as 4 up on the top lane. Though they do fear the Ravage and they do know that the Tidehunter is a blink, they're going to open up the Dragon Tail. Lots of damage onto this Tide. And, well, he might be brought down before anything else. Viper Strike's still working, although he will stick up and be just fine for now. Mystic Flare onto Chu is going to drop him very, very low. He has the mechanism, he's going to be forced to use it. Shaitan, with no sleep to re-engage on this fight. Ball's going to jump forward, look for a Ravage. Looks like Chu is going to turn the other way and sacrifice himself for the rest of the team. And Insidious, I mean, this is what happens when you don't fight with your entire squad. Queen of Pain down on the bottom lane, kind of doing her own thing, could have really helped out in bursting down that Tide.
Yeah, I mean, with the Queen of Pain would have been easy, but Shagasaurus just wanted to finish up the Orchid before he joins the next fight. Just to make sure, for example, Naga Siren doesn't pop his ultimate to just stop the momentum of a fight for Insidious title. And now he has the Orchid flying out. I guess split pushing is never an extremely bad thing, but I'm not too sure if you should be just pushing aggressively with the rest of the 4 if you're actually not 100% ready to take a fight. Maybe just push out the lanes a little bit, you know, then go into the jungle or something, but with the Orchid now, with a gem actually picked up on Mirana as well, I'm expecting Insidious to just start being even more aggressive than they've already been.
Yeah, even if you take a quick look at the vision for Insidious, they have super aggressively placed observer wards, although they are going to time out. So, well, not as much aggressive observer wards anymore. But with this gem, they're going to get a good amount of map control back into this game. And off of that, the Dragonite is going to be a lot more deadly. If you see where the enemies are, but they don't see you, a Blink Dragon Tail is 9 times out of 10 going to result in a kill. And speaking of resulting in kills, Shaitan is really in a lot of trouble down here. He's going to take a lot of damage from the Queen of Pain. Sonic Wave is going to be deployed. Arrow thrown, but will connect onto a creep. That's a dead Naga Siren, but here comes Balls with a 2-man Ravage. He's probably going to get both of these heroes. Shagasaurus is going to die, as well as ABC. Z-Red can do nothing but watch. So ultimately it's a 1-for-2 trade right here for Insidious. But, oh, they might catch Z-Red. They have no, that's a War Clap. Never mind. Thunderclap, not a Hoof Stomp. So it's a 2-for-1, but they also draw the Ravage out. This actually might be an opening for Insidious, as they do take down the top tier 2 tower, rather. So I think that's a okay trade, actually. That's not the best one, but they get something out of it at least.
Yeah, it's definitely better than just having your heroes die at the moment. Although they might lose their own tier 1, which, well, I'm pretty sure they're going to lose it. 132 HP remaining. Glyph is available for Insidious Idol, and do they really want to use it? I guess they do. The disruption up arrow will not land on anybody. Balls though, Viper struck up and actually might go down here. I think it's going to go down. BKB on Ysera as well. No Elder Dragon for me. He's actually holding on to it for the time being. The tower's still alive as well. They get the stun onto Kayfini. 2 cores down tower. It's in deny range. It's going to get denied here as well. That went way better for them than I would have expected. And immunity, it's not like all of them committed to it as well. They left the melee heroes of all the heroes to just deal with it. The easiest ones to just catch.
Yeah, I thought that Insidious would have just backed up. It's a tower that's a tier 1 bottom that had 2 HP off of deny range. It's like, just give it to them. But they went full on for it, and they really benefited. They prevented immunity from killing the tower. They got the deny. They got 2 kills on top of that. Really, it doesn't get much better than that, and I thought it would just be an unnecessary risk, but it seems like Insidious, they know what they could do, and what they could do involves defending towers, with no Ravage, of course, being very crucial in that defense. Off of that, they're going to go for Roshan. Insidious, they're just in control of this game completely. The net worth chart is going to go above 10k in favor of them. Only 4k for experience, but right now it doesn't really matter because the DK has his BKB Blink Dagger, and he's still, like, so very difficult for immunity to kill off. They have to focus him with a Skywrath Mage ultimate and have Ysera be stunned at the exact same time so he doesn't BKB. A lot of things have to go right for immunity if they want to kill off this DK.
Yeah, and I mean, the Elder Dragon form, its cooldown isn't all that long as well, to be honest. I mean, once it ends, it's like, what, 55 seconds. But, I mean, 1 minute duration, it's so damn long, 1.6k HP, sitting on 20 armor as well. Like you said, so many things have to go right for immunity for them to get the kill. Now Maelstrom also picked up on Ysera, so she's starting to actually pick up some damage as well. So, yeah.
Once this DK picks up a little bit more threat with his right click, then I don't know if immunity can do anything except for try to land a static link, and if they land a static link, they'll be golden, but if not, then it's going to be a very dangerous situation with this DK running about. And then even then, Insidious, they have almost an Aghanim Scepter completed onto Chu. The Queen of Pain working with an Orchid is going to be looking for solo pickoffs, although it is a very mediocre timed Orchid. If he runs into the Skywrath Mage or something like that, then Skywrath is just screwed. So Insidious, all their heroes have a good amount of killing potential. Even the Mirana Shadow Demon are both packing 4 stabs at this moment. So immunity, they have a BKB on Razor, which is nice, I suppose, but that's about it. BKB Razor is not going to win you the game, especially when your Doom gets hit with an arrow, and Burst Down Orchid will pop him, although Queen of Pain is going to do the job herself.
Well, really nice arrow, of course, but all of it was set up pretty much by this Observer Ward right here. Insidious Idol, they 23 minutes in, 16 to 12. I mean, looking at the kill score, you wouldn't think that they're having such a huge advantage, to be honest, but looking at the graphs again, 12,000 gold lead now, XP nearing 8,000 as well. They're just pulling more and more ahead, and immunity, even them having a Ravage of cooldown, they just can't go for the fight properly.
Yeah, and when you can't fight with your biggest team fight ultimates up, then you're probably not going to be fighting ever. Shagasaurus is going to go for round 2 on Shaitan down on the bottom lane. I don't think there's going to be enough damage to kill off the Naga Siren unless she blinks very aggressively forward. Shagasaurus is rather low on mana, so Naga Siren's going to limp away from that one, but only barely. The Naga Siren is actually holding on to quite a bit of gold. this could be a late relic transition, which I actually just saw yesterday. It worked out pretty well, but I don't know. Even if she does get the relic, the Naga Siren, then she won't be able to do much right with that. She needs another couple of items to really get going. So I don't know if this Naga Siren is going to want to go for that, as they do Force Staff Z-Red in double, and Arrow's going to not even be thrown because the creeps spawn at the worst possible time. Oh man, that was very aggressive from Insidious, but these supports just feel that comfortable. Now Shagasaurus down in the bottom lane, gonna get doomed up. Net is gonna follow as well, and I think this Queen of Pain this time is not gonna get Viper to bail her out. She's gonna buy out before she dies, losing no gold, so I guess it could have been worse, but Queen of Pain is gonna go down nonetheless in the bottom lane, whereas the rest of the team still on top. This is exactly what we saw last time. Queen of Pain kind of doing her own thing and not joining the team.
Yeah, and Chu actually just got himself that Aghanim Scepter as well. Makes sieging the towers a little bit easier because every 12 seconds you can actually make somebody back off for a small period of time. They also know the Doom is off cooldown, but like you already said previously, about 10 minutes ago, I think Ravage is more important than the Doom at the moment. And there's the blink in, the Ravage as well actually connects them to enemy heroes. Only one BKB from Visera was fast enough. They get Chu out of safety with a 4-step also. Mech is there, he's still alive. And Chu probably has to back off. He has the Aegis though. Never mind, Chatan heats an arrow as well. He can't solve the Siren like this. Can they bring him down though? Damage is lacking a little bit. He stays alive with only 100 HP, and surprisingly enough, nobody died on immunity.
Well, Insidious, they still have their Viper with an Aegis, so though they took a couple hits, it was all on the Viper, who's more than okay with tanking those hits for the team. Isera's still at full HP, and he brought the tower down, about a third of his HP, and they're going to go in again. Slicks is going to kill off Chu, most likely. The Gush, that's not going to do it. This Viper is somehow still alive. Arrow's now going to connect onto the Doom. Are they going to go in on this one? Seems a little bit too deep, and it looks like they will back off as, well, the birds are going to chase down the Viper. Force Staff out, level 4 Corrosive, although Disruption is going to save him completely. They still have this Aegis on Viper, and it's going to time out shortly, I think, so they should probably look to do something with it, or just back off. Okay, use it as a full heal, and, well, they got the tower down pretty low, and that was only with 4 heroes. If the Queen of Pain was there, again, they could have actually made a fight happen, as many immunity heroes limped out of that fight.
Yeah, I really thought that they were gonna go a little bit more aggressive, but man, no Queen of Pain. 4 versus 5, I guess it would have been a little bit too risky, but the Aegis is going to be reclaimed in only 1 minute's time. I'm not too sure if Insidious can push in within the time frame once again to actually make good use of that item. But even if not, they're still farming more efficiently. Shagasaurus only 1000 gold away from his Lincoln Sphere being finished. And with the Lincoln Sphere, it just makes Doom's job a lot harder.
Yeah, it makes it incredibly hard. That level death cast animation, it's not huge, but when you have to cast level death and then Doom that quickly, it seems like forever. So it's going to be a very annoying thing for the Doom to deal with. Queen of Pain, her damage isn't really that high, but when the Dragonite and Viper are going to be doing all the damage, you don't need your Queen of Pain to be doing anything else, but sitting back, waiting for the cooldowns, throwing a Sonic Wave when she sees an angle to hit more than one person, then you're golden. I don't really know what the Doom and Scarith Mage are waiting for right now. I guess they figure someone should be going down to the bottom lane to help out, because Mirana's not with the team. But, unknowing to them, Insidious are more than capable of pushing with 4 heroes. ABC is just going to take this time to farm, and this bottom lane tower is going to go down. Are they going to go up the high ground? That's the real question. Phoenix as well as Cynical, they're both spotted out now, cutting the creep wave, but they take the tower, and now they're going to teleport back. Mass TP, in fact. Blink forward from Ysera, looking for Cynical. Looks like Cynical is screwed right now. He's going to run straight into an arrow. Oh, that arrow was close. He's dead anyway, though.
Yeah, it's just not a chance in hell at the moment. I guess it was a cute thing they were trying to do at the moment, just trying to creep skip like that, but they just got sandwiched. I think Doom has to count his lucky stars as it is anyway, that he actually made it out there. But that was just not worth it. Losing it here too, losing a hero on top of it as well. Immunity, they have to pull out something bigger, and so far there is complete lack of just initiative from Immunity. They're on the back foot, and they're not even trying to make anything huge happen, I feel like.
I mean, they can't. Outside of Ravage and Razor, the Scarith Mage, he might be able to land an ultimate on somebody and bring them pretty low. Nog Siren is pretty much just a Song of the Siren at this point, and Doom, as a hero right now, is not that useful. He has a Blink Dagger and Doom, and that's it. So he's not very tanky. He doesn't do that much damage outside of the Doom. He's just his one ultimate, and everyone else from Insidious is entirely relevant without their spells. They're going to go for Chew Up on top lane. This is a very tough kill to have happen, and now they're going to line up for Shagasaurus perhaps. BKB is up on Slicks, and Chew's still alive for now. He's going to get put into a bubble. Arrow's going to connect onto the Doom again. I don't know how he keeps taking these ones. Viper's gonna get 4 stats out, but it will go down in the end. It's gonna be a 2-for-1 though. Killing a Viper is all well and good for immunity, but that just took so damn long. It was incredibly greedy as well, diving that far for a hero with the tier 1 tower up so that you know teleportation is going to be a stone's throw away. With 2 heroes down for immunity, this is a nice opening for Insidious once again, and the tower is already so low. This is probably going to be a tier 3 down at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, Doom is also on cooldown now, so it's gonna be even easier. Yes, there's still a Ravage. The heroes most likely will respawn, at least Doom will. So in saddles, if they want to go, they can. If not, it's also fine. Because they're just farming more efficiently across the entire map. Sarah has his Mjolnir already finished on the Dragon Knight. And the tower, the tier 1, it didn't even get destroyed. It got denied by Mirana, so immunity. Horrible trade once again, 19 to 4. The graphs, 16,000 almost for gold. XP just has surpassed the 10k mark as well, nearing 12,000. Where's the comeback from immunity? I mean, Relic is actually up on Shatan, only 500 gold away from that Radiant, so maybe this Naga Siren can pull it off, but I'm skeptical about it.
The only comeback I see coming out from immunity is Turtle for 30 minutes. And then by that time, Naga Siren will have a hard up, and then you could probably Turtle for another 20. But I don't know if Insidious are actually going to let that happen. Given how they've been playing so far, it seems like they're just looking to set up a death push soon enough. Off of this Aegis, it's probably going to happen shortly. So this is going to be a fully uncontested Roshan for Insidious, and whether it's Ysera or Chu to pick up the Aegis, or even Shagasaurus isn't a terrible Aegis carrier, it doesn't really matter because they'll just have such a nice advantage with this. And also the experience golds is going to be not as relevant as the Aegis, but still another benefit for Insidious. And it's going to be Aegis for the Viper. I guess he's been taking a lot of the Doom hate, and let's see where they go. They could go down the mid lane and then slide right up top, which is probably the best way to go. They won't have creep support there, but I don't know if creeps are entirely too relevant right now. They just need to make sure backdoor protection isn't kicking in. They're going to slide up with ABC and Z-Red. And if they catch sights onto Cynical, that could very well be a kill. Although instead they're going to run to the Naga Siren. This is a very vulnerable Siren. She does have her Radiance up, which is all well and good, but I don't know if it's going to be doing enough because this Radiance burn will be turned against her with the disruption. They're going to go for mid lane, in fact. And I don't know if Immunity can defend. They need to bank on a huge Ravage and a Mystic Flare to burst down Ysera before you beat KBs. That's pretty hopeful, and the tower's going to start taking chip. There's the jump on in. They have a stomp onto 2, but it's not actually going to do anything. Take the Dragon Tail, and this Doom is dead already. BKB now up as Balls does Ravage onto 2. Not going to be enough as Chu's going to sit right in the Mystic Flare. He has an Aegis. He doesn't really care. Balls is going to be brought low and brought down. ABC is going to leap forward, and the jump forward from Ysera is going to get another Dragon Tail onto Slicks. That's a buyback from the Doombringer, and Razor's forced to buy back as well. So far, it's a 3 for 0, and the tower's still taking damage. Insidious, they're not stopping. They still have the Aegis. I mean, the Song of the Siren's nice, but what could they actually do off of this? They're just going to get completely blown up once the song ends. Phoenix is going to take that Dragon Tail. Now they're going to try to focus down Shaitan. He's doing some pretty good damage with the Radiance, but it's just not enough because Ysera is still alive. He's going to get finally brought down. Chu, though, sitting in the back end, just doing so much damage with the Aghanim as well as the poison attack. He's down, but only for a short while. Disruption onto the Razor is going to pop him back out in a swarm of Insidious heroes. Shagasaurus is going to blink out. He'll be just fine as well. Phoenix tagged with a poison attack, and I think he should be going down. Yes, he will be. 4-stat forward from the Viper. That's going to be his death. ABC very low, as well as Shagasaurus, but they are still surviving. With only Scarith Mage here, the mech is going to keep everyone up, and this is going to be Rax's, if not game.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much game at the moment. The deficit is just too huge for Immunity to overcome. And what the hell was that first initiation from the Doombringer? He blinked in, got the War Stomp, and then just tried to run away from heroes that can easily just stun and lock him down. I have no idea what that was about. I was pretty certain that he's just gonna go in and doom up the Queen of Pain. I mean, he actually broke the link ends up on the Dragon Knight almost immediately after the Queen of Pain used it on him. So I'm not just too sure what the plan there was. Just jumping in, War Stomping when nobody else was following up with the initiation. If there would have been Blink Ravage straight after, for example, it could have been huge, but nope, nothing.
I think you could probably safely say that that was a decent play from Doom if he had teammates to go behind him, so the blame is equally placed on Doom and the rest of the teammates for not following up. Like, a 2-man War Stomp at this stage of the game is actually pretty devastating. Like, it's a stun that would be coming out from a hero which would otherwise not be offering anything substantial, so a 2-man stun is always a good way to start a fight, and then when you set up for a 2-man Ravage, or 2-man or more Ravage, then it's really not going to get much better than that for the Immunity side, but it just didn't come together. For whatever reason, whether the Doom jumped the gun or the rest of the team just weren't aware that that was happening, they lost the Raxes, and now Feeny is going to run straight into Shagasaurus as well as Mirana. There's a teleport out, but I don't think he's going to make it. With an arrow's going to cancel it, although Shagasaurus is going to instead go for Cynical. Here comes Balls. He does have a Ravage, but I don't think he wants to use it right now. He's going to use it only onto the Mirana, though. She doesn't have Leap, and it looks like she will get doomed? Really? Okay, well, Ravage down, Doom down, Mirana's dead. Who cares for Insidious, because they should be looking to make something happen off of this. Well, maybe not in this particular scenario. Shagasaurus still going for it. 1v4 me, bro. He's fearless right now. Top lane still being pushed by Viper. Where's this DK? He's chasing Naga Siren Illusions mid. So they lose the Mirana. Who cares? They get Doom and Ravage out. So this might be a second set of Raxes very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, at least the gem was picked up from immunity there, killing off the Mirana, so I guess in a sense it was worth it, but with your, like you said, with your ultimate and cooldown, how do they expect to defend the base now? Ysera coming in as well, still has that Elder Dragon form of cooldown, has a Blade Mail now as well, even tankier, 31 points of armor on him. This game is just, there's no buybacks either for immunity, not a single one at this point in time. A 26,000 gold lead, almost 25,000 XP as well for immunity. Heart of Tarask picked up on Choose Viper. This Viper, I mean, even if he gets doomed and ravaged, can they even bring him down then?
With a Mystic Flare, maybe? Maybe they could do it with the Mystic Flare, but it's, that's a lot of stuff going to one hero, and then you have to worry about Dragon Knight too, so I don't know. With no buybacks, immunity, they're just going to struggle. Oh, Shaitan, what? That arrow looked like it was landing.
Yeah, I think Yarrow must have ended just before him. I was, oh man, you're running into Yarrow! And suddenly no stun. I was like, what? His Riptide deflected the arrow, man.
Yo, you don't underestimate the Torrents of the Deep. They do some serious work down there.
But yeah, Insidious, they've grouped up now. They want to go in. I mean, Shadow Demon is missing still, but don't think they care too much.
Yeah, without the Shadow Demons, I don't know if Insidious could actually...
Slicks catches a 5-second arrow. It's just free 5 seconds for them to hit on Rax now.
This is... They don't even care to fight Insidious. Like, they could take a Ravage and just be fine. They're going to turn around for Balls because Balls kind of presented himself to the enemy team. There's a Song of the Siren, but Ysera's just going to town. There's a Doom and a Net. Ysera, turn around and man fight this one, bro, because you're not doing anything else. He's getting a lot of damage stolen, but a nice Sonic Wave on 2. Slicks is on the front lines. Stealing quite a bit of damage, plus 224 is going to wreck people down in the back lines, but here comes the Queen of Pain as well as the Viper. They're going to clean this Razor up pretty quickly, although take a lot of damage. Ysera's still alive, and, well, that's going to be 3 down. Arrow to fly, and Cynical's going to walk right into it. This one is not going to be deflected by any Riptide shenanigans. It's a double kill for Shagasaurus, and this is going to be Rax's down as well. Celebratory smoke from ABC, because why the hell not? This has got to be game. Like, I don't see immunity coming back from this one.
Yeah, I mean, even if they somehow do, it's going to be extremely hard for them. And just with the type of lineup that they have, if it was a corner Siren from the get-go, and just would have like Radiance, Manta style, maybe +1 item already, then I could see them coming back potentially, but it's just not happening. And oh, we see Ravage actually connects some free enemy heroes as well with you. He's so ridiculously tanky. They don't care. Sonic Wave, I mean, 40-second cooldown with the Aghanims. Blowing up the Tide Hunter, and yeah, that's GG call.
Cass 158. Secret codes being shared right now, but yeah, the game was pretty much over for a good portion of this game. I'd say it's 10 minutes of formality after Insidious got just a huge lead, but yeah, at the end of the day, having a farmed Dragon Knight and having a farmed Viper and Queen of Pain, whereas the enemies have no farmed heroes at all, turns out that's the recipe for victory.
Yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way to win. Just make it so that enemy heroes just cannot farm, at least. If, then only one of them. But in any case, guys, this is going to conclude this series 2-0 for Insidious Idols, which actually makes it so that they are highly likely to reach the playoffs now, if they win, like, I think one of the next games that they have as well. But in any case, guys, we're going to have more Dota. It's going to be First Departure versus Myth Trust. So it should be excellent Southeast Asian Dota. Almost as good as it can potentially get. I think we're going to cast it on this channel just because it's only 20 minutes away, so no point in switching channels anymore or anything. So stay tuned, guys. Don't go anywhere. There's a game coming up, and as always, if you enjoyed us, you can always support us by following us on Twitch, on this channel, as well as HeflaTV 2 and HeflaMog. and our social media. All the links are below the stream. If you want to just leave some feedback for the casters or follow them, it's at Coucher for me and at Mike Lores for my co-caster on both Twitch as well as Twitter. They are also up on the title of Twitch, so you can check them out there. But in any case, guys, see you in the next series in about 20 minutes.
Later, guys. GG.